There's a strange kind of beauty in bleakness, a crumbling city under grey skies, a ruined earth bathed in quiet ash, a world where joy has withered, and yet we keep watching. These are stories where everything seems lost, where death isn't just expected, it's a constant hum beneath the dialogue, and somehow we don't look away. We return to these places again and again, to The Last of Us, Children of Men, NieR, Automata, Dark Souls, worlds where hope feels like an afterthought until it isn't. Because maybe it's not the absence of despair that draws us in. Maybe it's how hope survives in its shadow. Hope, in stories like these, doesn't come easy. It isn't loud. It doesn't wear white robes or raise flags. It's quiet, flickering, easy to miss. But when everything else is broken, even a flicker can feel like salvation. There are stories that were never meant to comfort us. Their worlds are rotten to the core. Civilizations collapsed, morality warped, hope extinct. In Children of Men, no child has been born in 18 years. In The Last of Us, love and loss are locked in an endless loop. In Dark Souls, kingdoms rise only to fall again and again to the same ruin. These aren't just backdrops. These hopeless worlds are characters in themselves. They suffocate the people who live in them. They don't offer a path out. They dare their characters to keep moving anyway. These are not power fantasies. There's no guarantee that good will triumph. Often, the question isn't whether the world will be saved, but whether anything good can survive in it at all. And yet, we keep watching, we keep playing, not in spite of the hopelessness, but because of what it reveals. In these worlds, any spark of light becomes sacred. In these ruined worlds, hope isn't heroic. It doesn't shout, it doesn't lead armies or promise victory. Hope is quieter here, and maybe that's why it matters more. A single gesture, a shared laugh in a world that's forgotten joy, a hand reaching out when it has no reason to, a lullaby sung over a grave. These moments don't fix the world, but they remind us what's worth fixing. In The Last of Us, it's Ellie reading puns to Joel in the dark. In Children of Men, it's a baby's first cry breaking through the sound of war. In NieR, Automata, it's two androids holding hands, even though they were never meant to feel. These moments don't last, they're brief, fleeting, but in worlds designed to crush the human spirit, they're an act of resistance. Hope doesn't deny how bad things are, it just dares to exist anyway. We like to think of hope and despair as opposites. That one cancels out the other. But in these stories, they live together, they need each other. Without despair, hope has no weight. Without hope, despair is just noise. In Blade Runner 2049, Kay discovers he's not special, not the one. But he still chooses to save Deckard. Not because he's destined to, but because he wants to. A machine doing something human. In The Last of Us, Joel saves Ellie not to save the world, but because she's become his world. And that love, it isn't pure, it's complicated, it's selfish, but it's real. And in a world this broken, real means everything. This is what these stories understand. Hope isn't some shining sword raised over the battlefield. It's a whisper in the dark. It's a lie you tell yourself so you can keep walking. It's selfish, messy, flawed, but it moves people, and sometimes that's enough. In the end, hope isn't always a feeling. Sometimes it's a choice, one made not because things are getting better, but because they might. When everything tells a character to give up and they don't, that's hope. In Dark Souls, the fire is always fading, the curse never lifts, but the player keeps going, not for victory, but for meaning. In The Last of Us, Ellie doesn't forgive Joel, not fully, but she tries. She makes a choice to move toward forgiveness, even when it hurts. And in NieR Automata, the game deletes your save file if you choose to help someone else. You lose everything, but you gain something else. The knowledge that kindness matters more than progress. These aren't grand victories, they're quiet ones. They say, I'll keep walking, even if I'm alone, even if it hurts. That's what hope looks like when the world has nothing left to offer. So why do we keep coming back? To broken cities, to empty landscapes, to stories where the world has already ended? Maybe because deep down we know the world doesn't have to be perfect for people to matter in it. We return because these stories don't lie to us. They don't sugarcoat pain or hide behind happy endings. They face despair and still say there's something worth saving. That something is different in every story. A child, a memory, a laugh. The idea that someone else might walk a little further because we did. These aren't fantasies, they're mirrors. They reflect how fragile, stubborn, and strange real hope is. And maybe that's the most honest kind of storytelling. Not one that denies the darkness, but one that lets light survive inside it. In the end, even the most hopeless worlds still carry something worth holding on to. Not because the darkness disappears, but because someone, somewhere, chooses to keep going anyway. Thanks for watching. If you found something here that stayed with you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll return when the worlds collide again.